The Atlanta City Games, sponsored by Adidas, is officially over, or at the very least the broadcast window. And I planned my entire day around it, because I wanted to see what was going to happen when Noah Lyles took the track. However, that never actually happened, and trust me, I am getting to that in a moment. Allow me to set the stage. The Atlanta City Games is an event that, when Adidas puts it on, this meet really exists to showcase their athletes. It's not an official professional meet, at least not the same way that we look at the Diamond League, the Continental Tour, or even Grand Slam. That said, very talented athletes hit the track there. And last year, Noah Lyles made a good run in order to try to get, well, honestly, he was going after the straight track 150-meter world record, which some people would say isn't really a thing, but it is. Because you know who the man who actually had that record? Like, you can just take a guess. It's Usain Bolt. So anytime you take a record that belongs to him, it actually matters. And no, Noah Lyles didn't get the record last year. So the excitement was that he might do it this year. I am not alone in this. If you watch the Ready, Set, Go podcast, which I enjoy, might I add, they had a conversation heading into this meet about whether or not Noah Lyles was going to break the world record in that event this Saturday. And well, they actually released, like on their channel, a short video was released during the meet, after it had already been publicly announced that Noah Lyles wasn't going to run. Now granted, I already found out that he wasn't going to run before the meet actually started. Like, basically as soon as anyone could have found out, I basically found out. But that is not the point, because the beat still went on, and a lot of stuff went down, but nothing, not just the Noah Lyles situation, but really, nothing went according to plan. I am almost sure of it. So let's talk about it. I had a whole bunch of notes, and I was going to go through them, and I'm going to rattle some stuff off by memory. But no, I ain't going to go through all the notes, because I've got a whole lot of thoughts, and I'm going to air them out. And you can let me know in the comments if I'm catching some of this right, because shout out to all the athletes who competed. Let me start there, because they did compete hard, and we got some great performances. So again, offhead, the ones that I remember. In the women's 100 hurdles, which is always a good field for the most part, anytime I see them showcased on anything that's professionalized or on TV, certainly when you get the Peacock. Well, Tia Jones was looking like a problem, but Kenny Harrison got the victory. And it was entertaining to watch, the way that they battled it out. I mean, you had other great people in the field, but that's how it all ended. But when you get to the women's straight track 150, Favor O'Philly goes out there and breaks the world record. I mean, the same world record that was set last year by Candace Hill. I mean, I'm just going to say this. From what I can tell, a lot of women have not run the straight track 150, like some of the fastest ones we've seen in the world. I'm not saying that the world record isn't a record. It's just, it's not the same thing as like the men's world record where Usain Bolt actually owns it. But moving forward, Charnel Hughes goes out there and runs a 200, like a straight track 200, which is also a thing, and I believe Bolt has the record in that as well. I mean, again, fact check me in the comments. I'm pretty sure he does. And Jarnell Hughes runs incredibly fast. He goes 19.5. And Jareem Richards, when I was watching the race, I saw that he was distantly off. And I was like, man, did he run slow? Because this before the times come up. And then I realized, oh, no. Jarnell Hughes, he kept it moving. And to see that performance, as I look forward to Grand Slam Track Philadelphia, I'm going to take him even more seriously now, as I consider what's going to happen. Still taking Kenny B for the record. The majority of that happens before the broadcast window kicks off. Not all of it, but the majority of it. And then we get more races. We get a straight track 100, on the women's side and on the men's side. We get, the 110 hurdles on the men's side. This is a sprinting event. There's jumping events that are going on, and they splice a little bit of that footage in. But the Peacock feed, like what we get for TV, is just 1 hour. 1 hour of an event that's an all-day event, because track meets generally are marathons. They've got high school runners competing. Not really going to comment on it right now, but yes, I was paying attention because I do the high school national rankings. And on top of that, there's even, I believe there's a mile coming later today. Again, this is not in the broadcast window. Maybe it'll be online on some type of stream, but the event is very long. But make no mistake, the last event on the track for the broadcast window was supposed to be the men's 150, and we all know why. Because Noah Lyles was supposed to compete. And even before I get there, I'm sorry, I left something out. And this is how you know that I'm ripping this one off the cuff. Arian Knighton was supposed to be there and compete. We know that Grant Holloway wasn't going to compete because he's getting over an injury and just getting back training. But Arian Knighton was supposed to be there and compete. And he never did. He did not start, when you look at the results. I don't have, I have some information, but nothing I'm going to share now about why he wasn't running. But fundamentally, he's another big name who we want to see on the track, and we didn't get to do it. And it's not like we've seen Arian Knighton compete a whole bunch during this outdoor season. Just saying. But yes, now I'm going to address the men's 150 situation, because that was supposed to be the grand finale of the whole thing. But if you're new here, I want to say thank you for even making it this far into the video. And I'm Coach Rob, and if you really want to know what's going on with the fastest athletes in the world, then you are in the right place. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comment section, because I try to read them all. So you have a grand finale for an event that, as far as I'm concerned, again, no shade, just being honest, this was the Noah Lyles show, the Adidas Atlantic City Games, at least how it was last year, to how it felt right now, like leading up to it. It felt like the Noah Lyles show, and he was the star of the show. And guess what? Noah Lyles was there. He was at the event. He was there live. I mean, he didn't run, and I'm not here to say that he should have been running. I'm here to say he didn't run, but he was there, which is very interesting when you think about professional sports, because we saw him there, and he was even signing autographs while he was there. Again, I saw that on social. That's how I know. He did an interview about, why he wasn't competing. Again, not coming at Noah Lyles. That's not what I'm doing with this video. But we've got to call it out, at least address what's happening when you're coming from the other side of the screen. For that matter, even the people who attended live. You wanted to see Noah Lyles run, and more or less, you kind of showed up and found out all of a sudden he wasn't running. And they actually added somebody to the field. So Noah Lyles drops out for the men's 150 straight track, where he was going to make a run at the world record there, and Matthew Bowling steps in, who, historically speaking, people like to watch, people want to see what Matthew Bowling does, but that's for many reasons why they're interested in him and his career. But no, he is not an Adidas athlete. So when you now get to the men's 150 and look at everybody on the starting line, you see a bunch of red uniforms, because everybody there is an Adidas athlete. And then you see Matthew Bowling wearing a black kit because, as far as I understand, he's unattached or, certainly not endorsed by any of the major professional sponsors. They run the race. And actually, before they run the race, there's a false start. Alex Ogando, who was dangerously close to the world lead in the 200 when he competed at Grand Slam, he is the person who they call a false start on. So now he's thrown out of the field, who was my easy pick to win it if Noah Lyles wasn't there. And I know I ain't alone in that one. So now we're running a race with, again, I'm just rattling the names off from memory, because it was actually a pretty good field if you actually like track and field. Somebody like me, but you get Ferdinand Omanyala, Matthew Bowling, who's added to the field, Terrence Jones, former NCAA champion, and then you get Chekna Traore, who's another former NCAA champion. So you basically got the indoor national champ and the outdoor national champ in the 200 now running under Adidas. But yes, the gun goes off, and without Ogando, Omanyala pulled away from everybody, and nobody was able to reel him in. And that's the meat. He comes through the line. Hey, congratulations, he wins. Clappity clap. And that feed was done. That 1 hour of whatever we experienced, it's like the moment you're starting to get comfortable, it's over. So yes, this is the part where I start to address more of it. And I do apologize. I gotta say this part, because I know somebody's gonna say something, so allow me to get out in front of it. Akani Simbini was there. He did run in the men's 100, the one that I glossed over. He ran through to the final, and he ran 9.87 wind assisted. So it's not technically lowering his world lead. I think it was 9.86. It's not technically lowering his world lead or anything like that, but still a very quality performance to see from Simbine. And Oblique Seville was in the preliminaries for the 100 and then pulled up. He finished through the line, but he didn't finish through as Oblique Seville, which is why he wasn't in the final, because his time didn't register. Again, I have some information, but as far as I know, it's not necessarily a serious injury, but it's serious enough where he didn't keep running. And that always is worth paying attention to. But now, again, the 150 situation, the Adidas Atlantic City Games. A meet like this is a direct result of the current state of pro track and field. I've been talking about this for a while, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. That right now in what we call pro track, everything is about the Worlds and the Olympics. That's it. Those are both amateur competitions. Don't ask me. Like, that's what those organizations say about what they're doing. They are amateur competitions, which is why they have amateurs in them. High school and college kids compete in those events. But yes, the pros also show up there. So it's an amateur competition with professional athletes in it. And then everything else that we do on what is considered to be the pro circuit is essentially a warm-up. It's a scrimmage. The races don't actually mean anything. So when you have a sponsor, because right now the sponsors run everything in terms of where the way the money flows or where we expect it to go in pro track and field. I mean, again, as far as I understand it, now we see the Diamond League raising prize money, Grand Slam track giving out, large purses for, competitions, which when you put money on something, it does make it of more value. Again, it just is what it is, even if you don't understand all the details. But still, till now, it has been about the shoe companies. And with that in mind, the big names, when I say the big names, I mean the ones that most people would actually recognize. They're the ones who we put all the way out in front. It's just, again, it's almost like you wouldn't even know that other people were at the meet. This was the Noah Lyles show. Anybody who said it wasn't isn't being 100% honest. That's why he and his event were supposed to be the grand finale. Everything was a lead up to, on the broadcast at least, it was all supposed to be a lead up to Noah Lyles going after the 150 meter world record. I'm not trying to discredit the other athletes and what they accomplished, but the meet itself, last year I don't even believe that the competition results were ratified. The 150 meter is not an official event, like as far as I believe how World Athletics acknowledges things. So, the world record itself is unofficial, but again, Bolt holds it, which gives it value. It makes sense that in this ecosystem where we just kind of throw events and money exchanges hands one way or another, fans, we don't really know how, we don't really know what everything means. Yes, they may give out prize money here and there, but nobody really gets it. Yeah, I get it. You set things up to be entertaining for what they are. And making a run at a world record. Because guess what? There was a world record at this meet. Favor O'Feely, as I said, she goes out and breaks the 150 meter world record in the straight track, like the straight track 150. But even when it happens on TV, it's like we don't even get a moment to sit with it. Because the way things are being shotgunned through this event, for those who talk about storytelling and bring it up in terms of Grand Slam track or whatever, this is the opposite of that. Action just shows up on screen. The names are given out. And then from that point, the gun goes off, they run, they're right off the track, and then that's it. I get it. Adidas put on this event, and it was entertaining to some degree if you really like track and field. I just wish that there was more of it. And by that I mean more of it packaged for TV. Because yes, I was watching the feed online before we got to the broadcast window. But we all know what this was actually about. And considering we didn't get to see Noah Lyles, we had a few false starts, not just one, but Alex Ogando as well. We even had other athletes who didn't start for whatever the reason. You had some athletes who pulled up. When I say a lot of things didn't go according to plan, which does happen in most sports, this is something different because the Adidas Atlantic City Games is only an event that actually exists because of the current landscape of the sport. I'll be honest, if it was up to me about what I want to see, I don't want to see the Adidas Atlantic City Games. No shade, just being honest. What I want to see, let's just go back to some of the arguments, some of the ideas people threw out in the comments, not my videos only, but a whole bunch of them. Do the shoe wars then. Let's see Nike and Adidas and Puma and all them duke it out in competitions. If we're going to let the shoe companies have some power, if we're going to put the athletes on these brands, we might as well, see who has the best roster to begin with. I'm sure there's a lot of particulars you'd have to work out to make that thing actually make sense. But this right here, this showcase, which, shout out for what it is. It's just, to me, the end result tells me that there's clearly a gaping hole in the sport that we need to figure out how to fill. Because when you get down to a 1 hour broadcast that cuts out a lot of the meat and leaves you with very little to actually eat, just very little to actually consume, and the entire event was really a lead up to one moment that was taken away before the moment even gets here. What are we doing? So I apologize because this is one of those videos where I'm not trying to be contrarian. I want to celebrate the athletes for what they did. I enjoy track and field, enjoy watching it. And if you made it this far in the video, then I know that you're a real one. That said, I think we should be allowed to still talk about the things that are less than ideal, because I want to see track and field thrive. When I say I want to see it thrive, I don't just mean any one person or even any specific meet. I want to see the entire sport move to a better place. I want what's best for everybody, what's best for all the athletes, and what's best for the fans. Because if the fans are happy, the athletes will be happy, because the money will come along with it. And that is all I have to say about the Adidas Atlanta City Games. In the sport of track and field, confidence is everything, because when you win, that is just the moment when everybody else finds out what you already knew to be true, that fast is a lifestyle. Get your Fast is a Lifestyle track and field gear at scarecruiting.com/shop, or use the link in the description below. It's a huge support to me and this channel, so I can continue to make you more content like this. And remember, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.